An adverb of frequency is a word that describes how often an action happens. Let's understand more about adverbs of frequency. Adverbs of frequency describes how often or regularly an action happens. They can help us understand if something happens all the time, most of the time, occasionally, infrequently, or not at all. Here are some examples of adverb of frequency. Always. Always is used to describe something that happens every day, like she always wakes up early. Next is never. Never is used to describe something that happens at no time, like he's never late. Next is hardly ever, used to describe something that happens almost never, like they hardly ever go to the library. Next is occasionally, used to describe something that happens now and then, like he was arrogant and occasionally callous. Next is daily, used to describe something that happens every day, like I practice every day. Next is annually, used to describe something that happens every year, like yearly. Next one is generally, used to describe something that happens usually or commonly, like as a rule. Now let's read few more examples. Always. She always goes to the gym on Mondays. Usually, he usually eats breakfast at 7 a.m. Often, they often visit their grandparents on weekends. Rarely. She rarely eats fast food. Never. He never forgets to call his mother on her birthday. Now understand with the percentage of usage. If I'm 100% sure, so I will use always. 90% usually. 80% generally. 70% often. 50% sometimes. 30% occasionally. 50% seldom. And 5% rarely. And 0% never. Now let's read few examples of adverb of frequency. Never, seldom, always, every hour, every day, often, constantly, ever, eventually, daily, frequently, hourly, yearly, generally, monthly, occasionally, regularly, sometimes, rarely, usually, normally, hardly ever, scarcely. And last is now and then.